Guys, Sheyla here, and today we have the end of the Kronos Chronicles. This is the video most of my subscribers have been waiting for. So, yep, I am filled with joy to be here on Moonwhisper Coast. Oh, Blizzard tried. Hey, I'm not gonna pull an Accolix. I'm not gonna be cocky about it. They tried, they failed. Ha ha. Ha! Yeah, we are so fucking back, guys. I'm so glad to be back on the Mysteries of Azeroth. So what happened? What's going on? I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering. I thought you were playing on Kronos for the next 6 years. Like, what the hell, man? Well, we'll get into that. But first, I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me on this ride. It has been wild. It has been wild for all of us turtle lovers, and I'm gonna get away from calling the version of the game Turtle. Now I'm gonna call it by its name, Mysteries of Azeroth, because that's what it was when it was on Turtle WoW. That's what it is on Octaw WoW. We got a loud car, as always. That's what it's going to be called when it's Raven, and I'll talk about Raven. What I want from Raven is, like, I'm glad they're still pursuing the Unreal Engine development, plan. But I would, we don't need to, Class Change 3 servers. It would make more sense if, Raven or any other Turtle servers were CC2. I would love a CC3 version of Mysteries of Azeroth and a CC2 version of Mysteries of Azeroth. And before you guys get down there in the comments, 100% the only reason I'm saying that is because I see OG Holy Strike in my dreams. Like, the feeling of spamming Crusader Strike into a 3k Holy Strike into a 2k Holy Shock, that is something that I will never forget. And at the time, I thought it was always going to be like that. Like, I always thought Pally was going to be OP, and they're still OP, but they're not as OP. They were nerfed. It's just sad. So I would like a CC2 version of the server. But here we are, killing Major Domo. But yeah, so it's just like, what's gonna happen to your guild? Well, that's the thing. It's not my guild anymore. It's not your guild anymore. I thought you were the guild leader. Well, I decided to resign. It got to be too much. It was a lot. It was incredibly demanding, for a few different reasons. So the first reason is you are the primary point of contact. You are like the help desk for the guild. So if people have questions, comments, or concern, or troubles with, unfortunately that wasn't a thing, troubles with members, they're coming to the guildmaster to, deal with these questions, comments, concerns, or issues. Luckily, no issues with guild members, so that's good. But I would log on, and I would spend a lot of time, of course, like helping guildmates out and like making stones for people, and just making sure, like, guildmates are, everybody's good. If somebody needs a hand in this zone, I would hop over there. And a lot of other guild members did it too. And I need to stress that while I was the guild master, it was a team effort. We had officers who were making add-ons. We had officers who stepped up and decided they would be able to raid lead. So it really was a team effort in a good community. But my goal was to get the guild raiding. That was the plan. Oh my gosh, dude, all of these cars, dude. Everybody's trying to enjoy the summer. But the plan was to get the guild in raiding condition, and then just ride it out until like AQ40, and then I would probably pass the guild off to somebody else. That was what I was thinking. But what ended up happening is, as the month started to progress, I started to get more and more burnout. People started to come to me with more and more things. There was always more and more errands, and it really is like a part-time job being a guild leader. It's a part-time unpaid job, so a lot of editing sheets, a lot of moderating the Discord, setting up the guild banks. There's just a lot of stuff to do. So you sort of don't get to enjoy the game as much. And additionally, because Kronos is a lower population, the fact that we were the only NA raiding guild, and there was probably about 4 or 5 alliance guilds that were raiding, it made people, what's a good way to phrase this? A lot of people had this sort of like scarcity mindset, like there's not enough raid spots, there's not enough players, there's not enough loot, so everybody was really not really, but everybody wanted to raid, and people, some people wanted it like a little bit too much, so just dealing with a lot of, oh, look at and here's my sheet. Here's the beautiful sheet we made. The loot sheet. Oh god, the loot sheet. Always updating the loot sheet. And that's the other thing, the loot drama. And we're all grown-ups. There are no children on Kronos. The amount of anxiety and the loot grubbing, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I was a perfect guild leader anyway. I did miss loot like 2 items every raid, because I'd been loot master like once or twice, but like in a pickup pug on Turtle, so I wasn't used to it, and I like to smoke a little weed before I play WoW. So a lot of times I would see the chat going by, and then there's people in voice talking, and then I'm looking at loot, and then I'm baked too, so there's a lot going on. But it got to a place where the other officers were concerned. They thought that a better job could be done, and that's all right. If they wanted to, do the thing, that's good. Because I was hoping, and this is what ultimately happened, that once the guild was in a place where all the infrastructure was built, that the actual guild creator would take it back. And that's what sort of happened. Like, I sort of got frustrated. It was like both things. And it was a little weird too, because well, here's how it went down. So, I get back from work, and I open up my Discord, and it's like I got a missed call from the founding officer, who was no longer the guild master. He had transferred the guild over to me. Again, I was past the guild. I did not found this guild. But he transferred the guild over to me. I got a message, and he's like saying, "Hey, we're concerned. There's misplaced loot. You're not holding officer meetings." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm at the end of my rope. I'm doing the best I can. I've never been a guild leader before. I'm trying to do right, and this is what it looks like." So when you see the delay to all the Kronos, all the hobos who are watching this right now, this is what it was looking like when I was actually doing loot. Is like I have to alt tab between the sheet, and on my monitor, which you can't see, there is also the soft reserve sheet. So it's like I have to double check the PR sheet, then I have to. It's a process, right? It's not a quick process, but it's a process, and I'm doing my best. But he was saying, "Hey, you're not holding meetings. You're misattributing loot. Let us help you." And at the time, I was like, I don't want more help, particularly because, one, I'm tired, and two, there had been a few. I was a little bit. What's a nice way to say this? I don't know. I just didn't want anybody to influence me. I felt all these cards. It's a Sunday evening. I felt sometimes that people, like being the guild master, people would try to like sway me a certain way and this way and the other way. I think the big thing was like I was telling officers no. I think that rubbed some people the wrong way. We had a MC, and we completed it. It was a pug on a Sunday, and they wanted to go run Ani, and I said no, we're not running Ani. Even though we have the people for it right now, because we have a sign up to do it Wednesday. And even though a lot of the people on that sign up are here, there are still people who are not here. And if we have an MC scheduled for Wednesday, we're a new guild. I want it to be so when you see a sign up, you know it's happening. I don't want, you to think like this, I could sign up for a raid and then, they go without me early. Also, I did not want to exclude the members who had signed up. I think that disappointed some people. There was an officer who had switched to his alt mid-raid and then asked to split his points. I told him no, he would get his points on one character. So I just think they didn't appreciate, some of my perspectives and stances. But it was in the interests of keeping things fair to non-officers. And I'm not saying the officers were trying to shiest other non-guild members, but they were also in positions of power, and they were sort of like advisors. Like, I would listen to them. And nobody likes, when somebody doesn't take their idea or whatever, but I was saying no, and then there was the misattributing of loot, the average of two pieces a raid, and then there was the fact that I didn't, want to host meetings in voice because, I didn't want more to do, and I didn't want to, have arguments or debates about what to do, because honestly, as much as I love World of Warcraft, I'm not trying to... It was already involved enough, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do more. So anyway, during our exchange, I was like, you know what? After some consideration, I'm going to pass the guild back to you. I think you guys should hold elections to find a new guild master. And that's what I did. And then I said, hey, this is too much. I'm going to go play Octaw WoW for a week. Or a few weeks. I didn't say a week. A few weeks. I'm gonna be back, later. And when I came back, not only did a lot change, they had migrated the Discord over because I couldn't sign it over because the email my Discord is associated with was deleted because it's a Gmail and I don't like Gmail anymore. And also I don't want to make a new Discord because the ID requirement. So I'm just using the Discord I had, but they had to make a new one. I think that rubbed them the wrong way too. A lot of them thought I was being difficult or spiteful, but genuinely I could not transfer the guild over. If I was being spiteful, I would have deleted the guild banks, and I could have been spiteful. It wasn't me being spiteful, but they sort of characterized me as like leaving impulsively, and they didn't trust me. And that hurt. It did hurt. I put so much work into scheduling the raids. I put so much work into building the community. I put so much work into, listening to people and answering concerns and making the sheet. And for them to exclude me, well, I just decided, it's probably for the best I just go play on Octaw. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. Thank you for watching my video. I hope I see you guys on Octaw, and it's been great. As always, peace.